This is Romans chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us His truth and continually teach us His truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect that's laboring in His word and truth sincerity. Lord willing, this could be an edifying and exhorting video. All right, not going to be a long video. I got two accounts that I want to get into of, the Lord delivering His servants that trusted on Him. Okay, and these accounts were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope, because the Lord got the spirit on Trump to come down, man. Okay, now he didn't, because, he got ICE getting rid of these migrants. Now he's saying they can go into these churches and into these schools and stuff, which, previously he said he wouldn't do that. So, now they're allowing that. I mean, Trump is coming with it, man. Okay. And he's only going to show his horns. Okay. The Lord is going to have Esau come with great wrath, because these devils know that their time is running out. And in their mind, they have to set up their NWO. They have to get it set up, because they know that the prophecies are coming to pass. They know that the prophets are here. They know that Yahweh Shai is coming. Okay, they see things that we don't see. They know the chariots are there. They see the chariots more than we do. Okay, so they're about to come down with that wrath, man. Okay, and some of us will be, locked up. Yahweh Shai said that the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried. Okay, because it's a test. And even if we do have to die in these concentration camps or wherever, if we have to be beheaded, because that's written, we know that our works do follow us, and the dead in Yahweh shall rise first. Okay, so these are things that we have to, be prepared for, man, because they're getting ready to happen. We're getting ready to be demonized, persecuted, hated, man. But we have accounts of men of the Lord that were locked up, that were put in positions where it looked like death was the only option, but the Lord delivered them. And like I said, I got two accounts, but actually before I get into them, I want to get Sirach. My first one is going to be in Jeremiah 38, but before I get that, let me get this in Sirach, the second chapter. Okay, this Sirach chapter 2. Verse 10, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in time of affliction. So the power we serve, He has a good track record of coming through for the men that trust on Him. Okay, and like I said, I have two examples. Okay, but, like I said, I'm just doing this video through the Spirit to exhort brothers, beginning with myself first and foremost, that whatever situations we're put in, trust on the Lord, man, because He will deliver us out of it. All right, so like I said, my first one is going to be Jeremiah 38. Let's go ahead there. Verse 1. It says, Then Shephatiah, the son of Mattan, and Gedaliah, the son of Pashur, and Jukal, the son of Shelemiah, and Pashur, the son of Malchiah, heard the words that Jeremiah had spoken unto all the people, saying, Thus saith the Lord, He that remaineth in this city shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by pestilence. But he that goeth forth to the Chaldeans shall live, for he shall have his life for a prey and shall live. So the Lord was speaking through Jeremiah, warning, the southern kingdom, okay, warning them like, look, man, we're about to be taken over by the Babylonians. So the best thing to do is to just go into their hands. Because if you resist, because the Lord has set this up. So if you resist, you're gonna die. Okay, but if you go into their hands, like he said, but he that goeth forth to the Chaldeans shall live. Okay, and we have in the Apocrypha, which proves that the Apocrypha is a part of the Bible. You have the book called the Letter of Jeremiah. Okay, that he wrote, concerning the Babylonian captivity. Okay, but reading on, it says, "Thus saith the Lord, this city shall surely be given into the hand of the king of Babylon's army, which shall take it. Therefore the princes said unto the king, We beseech thee, let this man be put to death, for thus he weakeneth the hands of the men of war that remain in this city, and the hands of all the people in speaking such words unto them. For this man seeketh not the welfare of this people, but the hurt." So they heard the word of the Lord through Jeremiah, but instead of them acknowledging that this is the word of the Lord, in their mind, they like, man, this guy's a traitor, man. He's telling us to give up. Because here it is, of course they were fighting. He's like, look, man, we're trying to fight. We're trying to defend ourselves. And this guy, he's telling us to surrender. And, pretty much that's how they was looking at it. It says, "Then Zedekiah the king said, Behold, he is in your hand, for the king is not he that can do anything against you. Then took they Jeremiah and cast him into the dungeon of Malchiah, the son of Hamelech, that was in the court of the prison. And they let down Jeremiah with cords, and in the dungeon there was no water but mire. So Jeremiah sunk in the mire." So mire like mud. Okay, so he was sinking. Okay, in my mind, it's kind of making me think of like quicksand. All right. Which, matter of fact, I just want to see what it's going to say. Jeremiah 38. Sunk in the mire. Like I say, we know it's mud, but I just want to see if it's going to say mud or if it's going to say like quicksand. Okay. Yeah, mud. Okay. So he was left there, man, in the dark. He's in a dungeon. There's no water. It's dark. He probably can't really see. And he was left there to sink, man. So and I'm pretty sure, of course, he's a prophet of the Lord. So, he was calling on the Lord, like, Lord, save me, praying to the Lord, like, Lord, I spoke your word, I did what you told me to do, please save me, Lord. I'm pretty sure, that's the spirit that was on Jeremiah. All right. But if you was a man that didn't have faith, you would think, oh man, I'm about to die. This is it. But this is how the Lord delivered him, because man's goings are of the Lord. Now, when Ebed-Melech, the Ethiopian, one of the eunuchs which was in the king's house, heard that they had put Jeremiah in the dungeon, the king then sitting in the gate of Benjamin, Ebed-Melech went forth out of the king's house and spake to the king, saying, My lord the king, these men have done evil in all that they have done to Jeremiah the prophet, whom they have cast into the dungeon. And he is like to die for hunger in the place where he is, for there is no more bread in the city. It says, Then the king commanded Ebed-Melech the Ethiopian, saying, Take from hence 30 men with thee, and take up Jeremiah the prophet out of the dungeon before he die. So Ebed-Melech took the men with him and went into the house of the king under the treasury, and took thence old cast clouts and old rotten rags, and let them down by cords into the dungeon to Jeremiah. And Ebed-Melech the Ethiopian said unto Jeremiah, Put now these old cast clouts and rotten rats under thy armholes under the cords. And Jeremiah did so. So they drew up Jeremiah with cords and took him up out of the dungeon. And Jeremiah remained in the court of the prison. So the Lord, long story short, I just read it. So I don't know why I said long story short, but the Lord delivered him, man. And I just read the scripture. Who have trusted on the Lord and was confounded. And there's many other examples in the scriptures, which I'm going to get one more. All right. But I just wanted to bring that out because, hey, it looked like Jeremiah was going to be left there to die. But the Lord put the spirit on the guy to speak to the king. And the king was like, yeah, go get him. After he had just told other men to let him die pretty much. So that's a good example, man, of the Lord coming through for his servants. All right. And like I said, there's plenty other examples, but I'm going to just get one more, not to make this video too long. All right. This is Daniel chapter 6. Start at verse, because these men, they wanted to see Daniel die. But they couldn't find any accusation against him. Okay? And Daniel was in a high position. Daniel, it says in verse 2, and over these 3 presidents of whom Daniel was the first. So Daniel, man, he was in a super high position. But this is going into the men that were making accusations against Daniel. This verse 5. Then said these men, we shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his power. Then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king and said unto him, King Darius, live forever. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors and the princes, the counselors and the captains have consulted together to establish a royal statute and to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any power or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions. Okay? So you read in the NLT, it says that the king shall make a law that will be strictly enforced, give orders that for the next 30 days, any person who prays to anyone, divine or human, except to you, your majesty, will be thrown into the den of lions. Verse 8. Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing, that it be not changed according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altereth not. Okay. It says, wherefore King Darius signed the writing and the decree. Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in the chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his power as he did before time. So he still trusted on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. It says, then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his power. Then they came near and spake before the king concerning the king's decree. Hast thou not signed a decree that every man that shall ask a petition of any power or man within 30 days, save of thee, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions? The king answered and said, the thing is true according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altereth not. Then answered they and said before the king, that Daniel, which is of the children of the captivity of Judah, regardeth not thee, O king, nor the decree that thou hast signed, but make of his petition 3 times a day. So they was watching him. This was all their plan. But like the scriptures say, it speaks about the wicked digging a pit and falling into the pit which they made, because this is all going to backfire on them. It says, then the king, when he heard these words, was sore displeased with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him, and he labored to the going down of the sun to deliver him. So he was trying to think of a way to save Daniel. Then these men assembled unto the king and said unto the king, Know, O king, that the law of the Medes and Persians is that no decree nor statute which the king establisheth may be changed. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, Thy power whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. Even the king knew. But they deceived him into signing a decree, so he had to keep it. It says, And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. Neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him, because even though he was a heathen, he knew. He was like, man, damn, I didn't want this to happen to Daniel. Like, I know his power gonna be with him, but damn, man. Damn, like he fasted, he didn't go to sleep, he ain't had no music. Says, Then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste unto the den of lions. And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living power, is thy power whom thou servest continually able to deliver thee from the lions? And you know these were like some mighty lions too. Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever. My power have sent his angel and have shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me. For as much as before him innocency was found in me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt. So, hey, man, the Lord delivered him, man. The Lord delivered him. So this is another example of have any trusted in the Lord and was confounded. Then was the king exceeding glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his power. You see that? Has any trusted on the Lord and was confounded? No. And the king commanded, and they brought those men which had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions. Them, their children, and their wives. Damn! And the lions had the mastery of them, and break all their bones in pieces, or ever they came at the bottom of the den. So this is beautiful, man. This is beautiful. And I just, like I said, I just wanted to bring these out just to exhort brothers, because we come into a time of persecution, demonization. Okay? And we need to, have these accounts in us to exhort us. Okay? If the Lord did it before, he can do it again. And if he didn't, if these men were not confounded that trusted on him, why would I be confounded? So Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I'm going to say shalom.